and you are combining it with your own thinking. Your inferences may not always be correct, but they will be on the right track if you are using clues from the book. Let's go ahead and read the key points. Can we start with you, the first one?
The ability to make that difference is very important skill.
1 second. IXL station, it's getting a little too loud for me, so make sure that you are not talking. Those 3 students in the end, make sure that you are working on your own independent skills. Okay, same with independent station. If you are helping someone, you should use whispering. Alright. Last one. Perfect. Go ahead and switch to the next page. Go ahead and read the directions to me.
For today's lesson, we will be.
Can you read professionally, please?
For today's lesson, we will be turning to our mentor text story, The Marble Champ by Gary Sullivan.
Yes, so we read this text yesterday, The Marble Champ. We know it's about a girl named Lupe and a competition that she enters. So right here, question number 1 says, which of the following best summarizes the key events from paragraphs 1 through 13 of The Marble Champ by Gary Sullivan? Select all that apply. There is a last part in bolded. It says select all that apply. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Select all that includes the same answer that all it up to what you're thinking.
Yeah, there's going to be more than one right answer. There's A through G here. There's not one right answer. There's going to be more than one. Once it says select all, more than one. Okay? So the first one says, Lupe is known for being a really great student. Remember, we are trying to summarize the key events from the text. So if you were to tell me about the story, let's say I never read it, would an important key event be to tell me that she is known for being a really great student? Is that something that you would mention to me? If I asked you, hey, hi, Jen, I don't know this story, what is this about? Would you say, well, it's about this girl named Lupe, she's a really great student? Is that something that you would tell me? Show me agree if you think that that is an important key event. You are right, that is an important key event. It's telling us about the character. We need to know about her in order to understand the text better. How about number 2? Or letter B. Lupe received a small trophy and was congratulated by the mayor. Is that something that you would tell me? Had I never read the story, you're just telling me the important events. Give me an agree if you think yes. Give me a thumbs down if you think no. Why not? It's a detail. This detail actually supports the original statement, right? So you could either tell me, well, Lupe is known for being a really great student, or you could tell me Lupe is known for being a really great student. She even received a small trophy. That's something that's supporting the original statement. You could leave it out. This is not an important key event. How about letter C? Lupe has a razor-sharp mind. Is that a key event, or is that a detail? Just a detail. What are you thinking? Not a key event? You would leave that out? Yeah, you're a little confused? You would leave it out? Yeah? Who else would leave it out? Give me an agree if you would leave it out. I would probably leave it out too. I mean, it's a detail, and I think it's supporting the first one. How about letter D? Lupe is not very good at sports. Is that something that you would tell me in order to understand the text better? Would you tell me, well, this story is about a girl who's a really great student, and she's not very good at sports. Is that something that you would tell me? Yeah? I would probably do that too. How about letter E? When Lupe was 11, she learned to ride a bike with training wheels. Give me a thumbs down if you think you would not include that in your summary. Right? So if I ask, Height, what is the story about? Well, when Lupe was 11, she learned to ride a bike, training wheels. That's not really telling me about the character, right? I think this one is supporting that she's not good at sports. this one is supporting that. Well, she's not good at sports. She didn't even learn to ride a bike until she was 11, and it was just big deal. That's the supporting detail. Brian, diligently typing. All right, how about letter F? Lupe decides she wants to win the marble championship, so she begins to practice. Would you include that in your summary? If you are telling me an oral summary about this story, I never read it, I don't know what it's about, I don't know who Lupe is, would you tell me letter F? She wants to win the marble championship, so she begins to practice. Would anyone give me a thumbs down if you would not include this in your summary? I don't see any thumbs down, which is good. I would include this as well. And then let's see letter G. The bedspread makes it hard for the marbles to move. Why wouldn't you include it? It's a detail. This is actually also supporting this one, right? So she begins to practice. She's practicing on the bed, but it makes it hard for the marbles to move. This is a really good question, and the answers are really well constructed so that you can check yourself. So that after you select the 3 answers that you think are best, you can combine them and see if they make sense. If I don't know what this text is about at all, I never read it, and I see a question like this that says, which key then summarize the marble champ? And I read and I say, well, Lupe is known for being a really great student. She's not very good at sports, but she decides she wants to win the marble championship, so she begins to practice. Is that telling me a lot of information about the story? Does that summary make sense? I agree as well. So let's do question number 2. This is a question about the question style that we just answered. So on the count of 3, I want you to show me either A, B, C, or D. Do you think that this style of question is multiple choice, constructed response, non-traditional, or true or false? On the count of 3, show me with your fingers or your hands. 1, 2, 3. So I'm seeing some A's, seeing a B. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start to answer this question the same way you should answer multiple choice questions. By reading them all, we already did that, and then crossing out the 2 that are definitely not correct. So I know that B is actually not correct, and the reason why is that constructed response is something that is asking you to write out like a sentence or a paragraph. You have to write something out. I also know that D is not right because nowhere here does it say true or false. Is Lupe a really great student? It's not asking us true or false. These 2 are wrong. Oh, these 2 are wrong. So then I've reviewed my 2 best ones. A, multiple choice, C, non-traditional. Well, A would be right if we only had to select one answer. But the fact that it's asking us to select more than one answer, that makes this question a non-traditional question. Does everyone understand why this question is non-traditional? Yeah? Remember, if it's telling you to select only one, like this one only has 1, this is multiple choice. This is non-traditional because you're selecting the 3 best answers. And if I just select those 2, the question is wrong. If I select those 2 and this one, the question is wrong because I did not select the 3 correct answers. So you need to remember that, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and move on to this next question. So for this one, we're going to read 3 paragraphs from the marble champ, 14, 15, and 16. If you don't have that in front of you, that's okay. I have them here. Can I have a scholar volunteer to read paragraph 14? Go ahead.
Practice, practice, practice. Please, please, please. Look ahead at me, her brother and Alonzo.
I can sit down.
We're supposed to be a champ.
Can I have a scholar read paragraph 15? Go ahead.
Man, yeah, I thought you said she beat the other girl score.
Last scholar to read paragraph 16. Perfect. So let's go ahead and move on to answering this question. So right here we already reread paragraphs 14 through 16. Nicole? And we're going to answer this question. So right here it says, a summary of what happens just before paragraph 15. So right before paragraph 15, Lupe continues to practice marbles. She got better and better and was able to beat her brother Alfonso and the neighborhood champ. What does Alfonso say in response to Lupe winning? What are his exact words? What does he say, Pete?
For paragraph 15, Alfonso said, man, she's bad. She could be the other girls in here.
Perfect. So that's exactly what I would like you to write. I want you to write what exactly he said. And I already have that here. Go ahead and copy that down on your paper. Alright. Man, she's bad. She can beat the other girls for sure, I think. What does he mean by that? What does he mean? What does he mean?
It means that he means the opposite of bad, so he says she's good.
Why does he say that she's bad then? Right? Why does he say she's bad?
He thinks that she's bad because she's really good and that like these cool words that we say.
Yeah, man, she's bad. She could be any girl. She's so bad, right? That's kind of his lingo, his cool language that he uses. He doesn't really mean she's bad. Go ahead and tell me, make an inference. What do you think Alfonso meant? Bring me one sentence, shouldn't take you more than 30 seconds. What does he mean? Once you finish that, go ahead and check this so I know that this table is ready. That table is ready. That there. About 10 more seconds. Awesome. Who can tell me what they wrote for this box right here? What does Alfonso mean? What does Alfonso mean? What does it mean? Awesome. So let's move on right here to question number 3. What inference can we make about Alfonso based on his response or words to Lupe winning? A. Alfonso is angry that he lost again against his sister. Alfonso thinks Lupe is terrible at marble. Alfonso is jealous of his sister and the fact that she won. Alfonso is supportive of his sister and thinks she's ready for the competition. What I want you to do here is I want you to cross out the 2 responses that you know 100% are for sure wrong. So take 10 seconds, cross out 2 that you know are for sure wrong. Okay? Who can tell me which one of these is definitely incorrect? You put this on the test, Ms. Musco will mark it wrong for sure. Heidi?
One of them is he Alfonso thinks she is terrible on marble, but he says that she's really bad and then it's really good.
Yeah. He said that she's really bad, and then he proceeded to also say that she could probably be any other girl. So does he think that she's bad at marbles? No, this is definitely wrong. You put this on the test, it's wrong. What's another one that you think is definitely incorrect? Which one of these is definitely incorrect? Yep. Okay. A. Alfonso is angry that he lost against his sister. Do we have any evidence of him being upset? Did he yell? Did he get mad? Did he poop here? And just with a quiet hand tell me, have you ever played a board game and you lose? So you do this. Knock it over. I used to do that when I was a kid, right? You get mad when you lose a game. Sometimes you get really frustrated, so you knock things down. Yeah. Did he do anything like that? No. So now we have C and D. Alfonso is jealous of his sister and the fact that she won, or Alfonso is supportive of his sister and thinks she's ready for the competition. So, which one of these two do we have evidence for? C or D? On the count of three, show me with your fingers. C or D? 1, 2. Remember, C or D? C or D? Everyone's pretty unanimous? C. He's supportive. He thinks she's ready. He says that she is going to beat any other girl. Perfect. Remember, this is a really good strategy to use whenever you're taking tests because you're making your chances greater at getting the correct response. Go ahead and move on to the next page. So for this one, I'm going to reread paragraph 17 through 32. And we can actually do popcorn reading again. So we'll start in the back this time with you. We'll start when I put this down. And then we're going to answer the question. The question that you are looking for is, what inference can you make about Lupe's father based on the way that he responds to her asking, can you come? So the section that we're going to read is the one where she tells him that she has entered a competition. We're going to see how he responds. And you're going to write me a statement telling me what inference are you making about the father. So popcorn style. Just one paragraph. Whenever we see a new number, even if it's more than one sentence, just switch. So we'll start with you back there.
Okay. Rachel so Lupe explained, I've been practicing for marbles every day. That night over dinner, Mrs. Medrano said, honey, you should see Lupe's thumb. Huh? Mr. Medrano said, wiping his mouth and looking at his father. Show your father. Do I have to? Lupe raised his hand and flexed his thumb. You could see him listen. The father put down his fork and asked what happened. Dad, I've been working out. I miss my celebration. Why? I'm going to enter the father's chapel. Oh. Hey, her father looked at her mother and then back at his daughter. When is it, honey? This Saturday. Can you come?
And then I'll read the 32. The father had been planning to play racquetball with a friend Saturday, but he said he would be there. He knew his daughter thought she was no good at sports, and he wanted to encourage her. He even rigged some lights in the backyard so she could practice after dark. He squatted with one knee on the ground, entranced by the sight of his daughter easily beating her brother. So, using the text that we just read, it's also right here in case you need to reread it. I want you to answer question number 4. What inference can you make about Lupe's father based on the way he responds to her asking, can you come? There are two things that I am looking for. I am looking for you having restated the question. Can someone tell me how can we restate this question? Heidi?
An inference I can make about Lupe's father is the way he responded to
Yeah. An inference I can make about Lupe's father based on the way he responded to her asking, can you come, is, and then tell me. Okay, so go ahead and write it right here. This is your sentence starter. You can also use something different. There's another one here that says, my thoughts about Lupe's father based on how he responds. But remember, make sure you include the evidence. So there are two different things that he did that may help you support your evidence. So go ahead and take a minute. I will set my timer. I really appreciate how quiet the room is right now. I can see a lot of students over here diligently working on their independent tasks, as well as students over here on Excel independently working, so I appreciate that. Keep it up. 30 more seconds, Apple. 30 more seconds. Remember, you're using your sentence starter and you're including some sort of evidence. Jose? Who still needs a little more time? All right. So I'll give you all about 30 more seconds. 10 more seconds, Apples. When you're ready, go ahead and raise a quiet hand if you'd like to share your response. The two things that I'm looking for is the sentence starter and evidence that supports your statement. So if you're telling me that an infant that you made is that her dad is sad, you need to provide me some evidence. If it's something different, you need to provide me evidence. So who can share? Keith, do you want to share your response?
Yeah. After Ethan, after Eve born and baby come, is by putting up lights in the backyard for them to practice with the brother, and also like going to the tournaments.
Okay. Who has something else that they would like to share?
He's very supportive.
Did you use the same evidence that he did? No. How did you support it?
He knew that his daughter was felt that she was very she couldn't play sports, so instead of going to the playing rec ball with his friends, he skipped it and encouraged his daughter to play.
Awesome. I see a lot of agrees. Love that. Okay, so it's almost time to switch to math, but before we do that, I want to really quickly talk about moment number 3. We didn't get to this moment. A lot of you have already completed the independent statement. I don't know if you got started on your homework, but make sure that you complete this. It's only 3 questions and they're all multiple choice, so it shouldn't take you too long. But make sure that you are rereading the text that it's telling you to read. That is where you will find those answers. Yes?
About this one.
Oh, yeah. Let's go over that one quickly. What can you infer about Lupa's father from the text? Lupa's father is A, friendly, B, confident, C, strict, or D, supportive. Can I have one scholar tell me which one of these is definitely incorrect? Heidi? Strict. I think if he was strict, he would have gotten mad that she made plans without asking for permission. What's another one that is definitely incorrect? Yes, ma'am?
He's not showing anything that he's confident.
Yeah, if he was confident in her skills, he might be boastful and say something like, oh, you're so good, you don't need to practice. Why am I going to put lights? You're so good. You're going to be everywhere. So now we have A and D. A, friendly, D, supportive. Based on the text, what evidence supports, or which one of these two is better supported by the evidence in the text? Is it A or is it D? On the count of 3 with your finger show me on your chest. A or D? D, right? He's supportive. He canceled plans to go with her. He put lights in the backyard so she could practice at nighttime. Perfect. Okay, so scholars, make sure that you complete the other question for homework. Sonoma, we are going to transition into your math group. Make sure you listen to my full directions. Keith, you're not moving just yet. I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. The things that I want you to do are go back to your seats, sit in your math group, and take out your math notebook and your textbook. Go. Come with So Noma, you have 45 seconds to be grabbing your seat, otherwise you will overtime. If you need to grab a blue stick, do that now. 10 seconds, if there are still students out of their seats, in 10 seconds, you still waiting for 1, 2, 3 students, 4 students to have a seat. Still waiting for 3 students to have a seat. You already owe me 13 seconds. We're at 20 now that I'm going to add on. Alright. So if you haven't done so already, I noticed that a lot of you had questions about this. Everyone is getting one of these packets for today. You are expected to glue this into your notebook. In just about a second, I will give students a chance to get up and get a glue stick if you don't have one. Raise your hand if you don't have a glue stick on your table that you can borrow or share. Okay, so I will give you those students who may stand up and will grab a glue stick. You are grabbing one and you're going back to your seat. You are not hanging out there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and restart my timer. If I see any student out of their seat, I am adding to the time code. Don't get out of your seat again. So if you have already